Hi, guys. I am in a jail cell basically at Keller Williams International. So it's like a quiet box thing and it's soundproof. So it's crazy quiet in here. So good morning. Happy Tuesday. Um, let's see. We were going to have a guest today, but he's also in a different time zone and it's really early there. So um, I don't think he's here yet. So I'm just going to go through the AI just like we normally do. And if he pops on, I'll introduce him. But if not, then that's okay. Um, so I'm going to go through a little bit of the AI playbook. I know last week, Sarah and I played a video of Jason Abrams really going through kind of that checklist of like, hey, it's kind of an insane list, but just take it bite by bite of like all of the things you need to do to be able to show up, right? So as I was going through the AI playbook this morning, it talked a little bit about, and I'm going to show it to you guys, but it really talked about the difference between SEO and GEO. And I'll go through kind of some of those processes, but I think the biggest part for me this morning, and I've seen it before, but just kind of an aha to make sure I tell you guys, is how much actually social media plays a part in it. So, back in the day when we were learning about SEO, right, showing up on just Google searches, it really didn't matter about socials. It didn't pull from social media, right? So because social media is so influential these days, and Rory Vaden, if you guys aren't familiar with him, you should totally look him up. He is the founder of Brand Builders, and I actually heard him speak at the beginning of the year at the Go launch. So he actually wrote a book called Take the Stairs. And I think he was like, oh, that was a previous business with a previous, business partner. So I don't think he can really take that venture anymore. But he's a great businessman and he just started a whole new business called Brand Builders, right? So, anyways, he talks about how social media now is basically like getting a referral from a friend, right? So people already feel like they're kind of friends with you, or hey, all of my friends follow this person, so that must mean that they trust the person and like them as well. And then they just kind of do a deep dive on your socials, right? So that's initially what I want you to remember is that your socials now are kind of like your reputation. If you don't have good socials, or I don't want to say good socials, but if you aren't at least present there to where they can kind of get to know you, then you're missing the mark a little bit, right? But that's okay. You can teach it. And the AIs are taking information from there, right? So so what I'm going to talk about today is what are the things that it's looking for, right? What are the things that is going to make your socials pop up when somebody Googles you? So let me share my screen. And I will get started with that, possibly. Okay. So we're gonna start on the become searchable. So I know Sarah somewhat touched on this last week with Jason Abrams' video, but I'm gonna touch on it a little bit deeper. And y'all, this is inside of Connect. So if you want to look at it on your own and kind of go through this, please do that. I would love for you guys to do this like by next Tuesday when we go through the next step, so that you're just kind of moving the needle a little bit. Okay. If you are newer or you did not go through the first playbook, go to that one first. It is important. And it says it at the beginning of this one. It's important to do the first playbook first so that you can kind of build on it. So I think that's the key to this whole thing. And even building a business, guys, as you're building a business, it's not going to be overnight. Okay. It's going to be every single day doing a little bit of something. And then eventually you have this beautiful piece of art. Okay. In this beautiful business. But it's not overnight. And you want it to look like you. So that's what to start with. So how to build keyword lists. So obviously you're going to start by making a list of keywords and phrases to your business. So start thinking about who do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? Where do you want to be known for? Right. What do you care about? What are you a part of in the community? Because that is going to help you pop up for people who think and care about the same things. right? So if your kid goes to a certain school or plays certain sports, if you're involved in certain nonprofits, or if you're super passionate about something, that's what I want you to make sure that you're making a list of all of your favorite things. So I know I talk a lot about, like, when I have business consultations one-on-one, I'm going to ask you about you, right? So I'm going to say, like, what's your hobbies? What are you into? I met with someone the other day. She was like, she's like, my identity is basically Pilates and reading. And I was like, okay, cool. That is something you can build a business around. That's the beauty of real estate, is that every single person that you meet is a potential buyer or seller, right? So they don't already own a home. I don't know anyone who doesn't want to build wealth and own real estate, right? So just keep that in mind. You can build a business and you can build a touch plan, and you can really build those relationships around the things that you love. But when we're talking about keyword searches, that's what I want you to think about, right? All the things that you love, that you're a part of, that is going to make it to where those people who love the same things that you populate, right? So anyways, think about neighborhoods, landmarks, causes, culture, communities. Yeah, and like it says, if you're struggling to think of things, talk to ChatGPT, right? Free tools like Google Keyword Planner. So y'all write that down. I'm actually probably going to put that on our Facebook page so that it's in front of your face, but it's obviously super easy to find here in the playbook. That may be your very first step, guys, is going to Google Keyword Planner, Ubersuggest, or Answer the Public, and identify those keywords that identify with you, right? So figure out the keywords that kind of go along with who you are and what you love. And that's how you build a business that you love, not one that you're like trying to run from, right? The whole point is to build a business by design. I think that is the very, very first step. Obviously, then, not obviously, but then you want to categorize those, right? So very broad, mid-level, and specific. So I'm just going to kind of touch on these things. So broad is describing who you are, big picture, right? So who are you? Like, at the end of the day, who do you want to be when somebody talks about you, right? So those keywords, and you're going to put it on your socials, right? Honestly, what I see a lot is, and the brand builders do this a lot, I know the people who use brand builders, your first three on Instagram, right? So, or on Facebook, you can also pin a post, but on Instagram, you can pin those first three things, and those should be your kind of broad keywords. So it's like, hey, I'm Linda Crawford, and this is who I am, and this is what I do. And those three things should always kind of be your intro, right? Into, or maybe even, you can get a little bit creative, right? But I want at least one of those pins to be broad. Who are you? And what are those keyword staples that are going to appear on almost everything that you publish, right? So by the end of it, it's almost like your signature, right? So very broad keywords there. After you plan it, because you do want to be strategic about it, right? And then mid-level keywords are general search terms, educational topics, like cost of living in Miami versus Fort Lauderdale. So obviously this is talking about Florida, but how can you think about all the things that you get questions about, right? If you tell someone I'm in real estate, what are they asking you, right? They're going to ask you, how's the market? They're going to say, oh, we really want to live in this neighborhood. Oh, we live over here, but we love this area. Whatever that looks like, how can you use those, like it says here, mid-level keywords, so that when somebody does search for that in AI, it's going to pop you up and say, oh, this person actually already gave the answer to this question, right? And then specific keywords. So phrases your clients would actually be searching. So like homes for sale near Pinecrest Elementary, or best condo real estate, whatever. Brickell. So this just kind of talks about the goal behind it and the focus, right? So I just start at the first thing, right? I want you to this week, let's build out those keywords and maybe even start thinking about what is who you are and those broad keywords, right? So, and this just kind of talks to you about some of those ideas, but y'all throw this in so I'm not even going to go any further than this page because it has so much on here. But also like throw this page into your LLM once it's ready, right? Like once you've gone through the first book, if you have not done that, then start on the first playbook and just take it step by step. But once that's done and you're ready to get to this step, start with number 1 and then throw this part, number 2, right, into an LLM, your favorite LLM, and talk to it about your specific like goal, right? So like, hey, these are the people I'm targeting. These are the things that I care about. These are the keywords I want to make sure are highlighted. Help me build out specific, mid-level, and broad like social media, right? So the fact that it pulls from social media, it makes it so much easier, honestly, because prior you were going to have to create a website, right, that shows up on Google. And that is super hard to do. So I will tell you, when I went to family reunion, right? So I went to family reunion in February, I guess, and Gary Vee spoke, who's a big social media influencer. He is a cusser, but, you know, a man after my own heart. I don't cuss as much as him. But all I was going to say is he talked about something that I kind of took to heart, but haven't implemented yet. So don't be like me. But I'm going to soon. I'm working on it. Anyways, he said, if somebody gave you a channel on the TV, right? 24/7, you could have channel 13 and it was the Joe Green channel, all about real estate. And you had to fill that thing with content 24/7, or it was going to play something comes from you 24/7. And anybody who turns on that channel is going to see you. And it was a free business. It's all about your business and how you're going to get business. How would you handle running that channel? Right? If somebody gave it to you, it'd probably be super expensive. It would probably take a ton of time. You'd have to go to a studio. You'd have to get approved, like whatever. Social media is the same. You have a channel 24/7 that people are logging into for free, right? So be strategic with how you're using it and use those keywords so that AI is populating you. And I promise you, the first day you get an AI playbook or an AI lead, the first day somebody calls you and says, oh yeah, I found you on AI, is going to be a game changer. I've gotten actually a listing or 2 from it. Just when they said, I don't know, I just asked AI who's the best agent, right? And the beauty of it is it's targeting what they love, right? So like it said, the things that you're passionate about, the things that you care about. If you teach it those things, then people who care about those same things, when they ask chat the question, it's going to populate you, right? So obviously I don't pop up every single time anyone Googles Memphis real estate agent, but I did for a couple of people. So that must mean that they wanted they were asking for what my socials and websites were telling them. It told them that I was the one for them, right? And that builds trust. That gets you the business. So y'all go to page 2 and kind of work through that. I at least please take the time to build out those keywords and just think through who you are and what you want this info to pull so that you're getting clients that you want to do business with. But okay, I hope you guys have a good Tuesday. Y'all go crush it. I'm so excited. I got coffee yesterday behind Gary Keller. He did walk a little faster than me. I felt like he skipped me, but that's okay. No, not really. He did give the barista a $20 bill on a $3 coffee. So he's very generous. But anyways, okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. We are having Teresa Flood. She is a top team leader, super influential. She is a KWU instructor. She has a podcast. Check her out. She's kind of gone down the branding journey. So she's going to be talking about leadership and branding tomorrow. And she is kind of the expert that I look to ask a lot of those questions. So I will see you guys in the morning. Y'all call me if you need anything. I am on myself. Bye, guys. Y'all go crush it.